On Sunday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis dropped his long shot bid for the Republican nomination.
Florida's ground zero for the nursing home. I mean, we're God's waiting room.
That also seems to apply to his presidential ambitions, just waiting to die after he placed a long shot second in the Iowa caucuses. So now, after his flop, DeSantis decided to immediately bend the knee and endorse Donald Trump. Oof. The same day, the editorial board of the Miami Herald decided to add insult to injury. They wrote that DeSantis was supposed to be the candidate that would save the Republican Party from the former president, which I find hilarious. They write, it's not just that he was steamrolled by Donald Trump. DeSantis never appeared to want to save the GOP. He was more interested in making it a more ravenous, angrier, and intolerant party that worked for Trump, but didn't work for the governor with all the charisma of burned toast. Wow. Ouch. Okay, before I read more, let me just note that Ron DeSantis was never going to save the Republican Party from itself. Come on. Oh, no, he's going to save the Republican Party from Trump. The party is Trump. Sad to say, well, not me, because I don't have any personal, like link to the Republican Party whatsoever. So not my horse, right? Not my circus, not my monkeys, but still at the same time, those monkeys might get elected. So not good, not good. And Donald Trump, of course, is head ape. And look, as I mentioned, Ron DeSantis wasn't interested in saving the Republican Party from Trump. The Republican Party is not interested in saving itself from Trump. No, they want Trump. The faithful are loud, angry, unhinged. They're willing to do violence on his behalf and intimidate everybody else around into voting for him. That's it. It's basically a mob. And even people who don't like Trump on the Republican side, they do exist, they're going to end up voting for him because they fear what will happen if they don't vote for him. Either Joe Biden wins or Trump wins and then comes after them for being disloyal. Either of those things are bad if you're a Republican. Okay? DeSantis, he knows this. That's why he tried to be Trump light without the baggage and then ended up losing and endorsing Trump. Here's the thing. Republicans don't mind the baggage. Hell, some of them even like it. I mean, his polling went up when he got indicted. So, I mean, it just shows you where they are as an electorate. Okay? Now, back to the article. The Miami Herald writes of DeSantis, without his political ambitions, there likely wouldn't be Don't Say Gay, woke wars, and the waste of state resources to fight meaningless battles against drag queen bars. Are you sure about that? I don't know. This seems like it's really like, oh, Ron DeSantis just made a bad political choice. No, I think he is a hateful bigot. Okay? But yes, is there some politics in that? Yeah, he's trying to appeal to Trump base. And they write that it didn't work. His supporters refused to lead the former president, especially after he was indicted, as I mentioned before. Instead, he banked on exploiting divisions in our country. As he bows out, DeSantis leaves the Republican Party exactly as he found it, under Trump's dominance. Well, look, as I mentioned, I've got a problem with this article. It's pretty naive, right? It actually believes that DeSantis could have made a play for a more reasonable form of conservatism, as if there is currently such a thing. But that's not who Ron DeSantis is. Ron DeSantis breezed a re-election in Florida because he went full anti-woke, okay? And because Florida Democrats, of course, put up Charlie Crist. If you're asking, who? Exactly. Look, one of the only bright spots I can actually see with the Florida Democrats are people like Maxwell Alejandro Frost, okay? Anyway, Ron DeSantis was never going to be reasonable because that's not what Republican primary voters want. They don't want somebody who's reasonable. Why settle for very unlikable Trump light when you can get Trump and all the hatred? Remember, we love the hatred. As a Republican primary voter, I bathe in the hatred. I love the hatred. And I love the promises of revenge. Yes, let's go with that. Let's go with the revenge candidate, not the hope candidate. We'll go with revenge. Oh, okay, lovely. Lovely, great. Now, that's the other thing, though. Getting back to Ron DeSantis and how weird he is. Like, he's an unlikable person. And of course, that hurt him. Look, here's the thing. People can have a likable personality and have bad politics. I know, I've met plenty of them. I'm sure all of you know someone like that. You like the person, they're fun to be around, they're funny, they got a good sense of humor, engaging. But boy, do their politics suck. Right? So that's why you never talk about politics with them. But you generally like them as a person. DeSantis is not that guy. He's the opposite of that guy. He's the guy that sucks whatever fun there is out of the room. All right? He walks into a room and instantly everybody's like, oh, God, it's that guy. Ooh. It's kind of like going into a party and letting up a giant silent fart that is so bad that it clears the room. Nobody wants to be in the room with you anymore. All right? It's gone. It's gone. As Trump would say,
bing, 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 boom, it's gone.
okay, that's it. That's it. Now, when asked what was wrong with the DeSantis campaign, Republican strategist Liz Mayer answered it pretty brutally. I think it turned out that he was Ron DeSantis. Oops. She added, he's awkward, weird, too conservative on a host of policies, seemed like a knockoff version of Trump at best, and at worst, like a less appealing Floridian Ted Cruz. That is absolutely brutal. This is coming from a Republican strategist. When they're telling you, this guy is more unlikable than Ted freaking Cruz. You know that's bad. That's real bad. Oh, but there's more. Another Florida reporter, Mark Caputo, told CNN's Jim Acosta that DeSantis basically ate the crap sandwich by dropping out and endorsing Trump. He said that DeSantis almost looked like an artificial intelligence animatronic Ron DeSantis. You sure that's not the real Ron DeSantis? With more of a smile, more rehearsed, just getting through it, and had the quality kind of a hostage who's told to be happy to accept his fate. He's going to escape these prison cells or these walls, so he did his part and swallowed that sandwich whole, in the words of his advisors. On his campaign, former Republican Representative David Jolly told MSNBC, quote, this is probably the biggest collapse of a presidential campaign in modern political history, if not all of American history. And finally, Republican strategist Alex Conant says that if DeSantis runs again, as some speculate in 2028, he'll benefit from low expectations. Well, there you go. Ron DeSantis. When you look at him, that's what you're going to see.